I'd like to press the gas a little bit and talk a little bit about. I think that you're maximizing your opportunities clearly well. I mean, all the different things that you're doing, all the different fields that you're working in, and you're having success in a lot of those fields, and you're continue to grow as a professional even today. Can you talk a little bit of what motivates you? Because a lot of people, they'll sit at home, they'll go to their job, and they'll go home, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's comfortable. But why does Jalene Mack press the gas on life and continue to grow?
Being in the entertainment industry, you never know what opportunities are going to present themselves, right? So sometimes you just got to go. And then it's also one of those industries that you have to kind of be in it to win it, right? The moment I, take my shingle down saying that I'm no longer acting or I'm no longer an entertainment attorney or producer or whatever, then that big opportunity comes, but hey, you close up shop. So staying in it, having longevity, seeing the big picture and just staying committed to it, I think is important in and of itself. And so of course that motivates me because every day is a different day. And you don't know if that's the one day that everything's going to come together that you've been working on, right? Whether it's me on the team with some other producers who are working to get a film off the ground, or I'm working with another team that's been looking for funding, or there's a perfect movie role that I'm even looking for. Honestly, every day puts you closer and closer to maybe checking that box. And so if you don't stay inspired, if you don't stay energized, if you don't stay engaged, then nobody knows, that you're still in it. People will start looking for somebody else. It's like you kind of fade into the sunset a bit if you don't stay on people's mind, right? And let them know that you're a team player, that, hey, don't forget about me, include me. This is something that I share too. I don't know. It comes natural. I can say I know I'm a busybody compared to a lot of my friends who don't necessarily get it because they're not in the industry. But the industry is just not a 9 to 5, not the entertainment industry, not for what I do. It's not a 9 to 5 situation, even practicing law, that's not 9 to 5. It's kind of 24/7 really, because even if I'm not on the phone with somebody, right, during regular business time, I'm doing things on the weekend, I'm doing things at night, finishing up a contract or whatever. So it really is one of those merry-go-rounds that just keeps going round and round and round. And it's like, sometimes you want to get off and then you're like, nah, but I'm enjoying the wee of it all. Right. But yeah, it's just, it's pretty interesting career choice for me. I do like the fact that I don't have to sit, behind a desk all day, and I don't have to sit in an office, and I can go take those meetings in person. Right. And just, really just be out there and live out loud.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, to the point where you and I were sitting next to each other, I think you were kind of nudging me a little bit, like, "Hey, I got to get on my laptop and do some work here." And I was like, "No, wait, we're not done talking yet, right?"
Yeah. And trust me, I didn't even feel like it, but I know when I'm just going a lot, it'll just start to build up. So yeah.
Yeah. If you want to be great at anything, if you want to be exceptional, I'm sorry, but just doing the minimal amount of work just isn't going to get you there. So
yeah,
that's what motivates me as well. I don't want to just be, an ordinary Joe sitting on the couch, being mediocre. I'm trying to be exceptional in life, and it sounds like you're being the same. Yeah.
And there's
awesome.
one thing I can tell you I live by. This one saying that I live by. So it's an African proverb, and it says, if you want to go fast, then travel alone. But if you want to go far, travel with the team. And
Boom.
so I think that's a part of also what motivates me to know that there's this light at the end of the tunnel, because I've been surrounding myself with the right team members and the right co-producers, and even the right friends in the business that's my tribe, right? To make me stay the course and stay excited about what we do every day.
Yeah, it's perfect. That is just perfect. In the Marine Corps, none of us go by ourselves. We press the gas and we go, as a team, and we go, whatever objective is in front of us, we go after and get after it as a team. That's great. Hey,
That's
Jalene, you've done just so much. It's going to be kind of a question that may be a little bit difficult to answer, but I'm going to ask you anyway. The totality of everything that you've done, thus far, right? All the hats that you've worn, what has been the most rewarding for you?
Honestly, at the end of the day, it's family. I have 2 amazing kids, my husband. Family's everything, because work is work, but it's fun work, but it also can be challenging. But I totally enjoy going to my son's basketball games and watching him, grow as a basketball player and getting ready to go off to college next year. And my daughter and her soccer career. And then she became an adult and with a good job and bought her a
Yeah.
house and all those things, right? They feed our souls. They really do, because it's like work is work at the end of the day, no matter what kind of work it is. But it allows us to have the things that we uh, strive for in life, and having a good foundation for family is a part of that. And yeah, I mean, that's truly, truly, truly the most valued thing that's happened in my life: getting married and having kids and having a family. And I see why some women, go through fertility problems to have kids. Like, having kids is super important. So if you can adopt, if you have the option to get married, whatever your family value, family is everything when it gets down to it. And so that's also what keeps me going. I can't say that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just smile for no reason. As soon as I see my son walk through the door, my daughter called me on the phone. So yeah.
That's beautiful. And from what I understand, also, Jalene, that you are a founder of a nonprofit. Can you go ahead and provide a soundbite about that and tell everybody a little bit about it?
Yes. So I have an arts and entertainment nonprofit called Mack Performing Arts Collective, MPAC for short. And the mission is to cultivate the interests of performing arts by engaging, educating, and entertaining. And so we basically provide resources to help those aspiring talents, whether they're veterans or young people, be successful in the business of entertainment. So we've done a number of, film festivals, music symposiums, TV forums, comedy workshops, comedy showcases, all these different events that we can put on basically to help hone in someone's skill set, or help them find money and resources to launch a project, whether it's a comedy show or a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but bringing, really creating access to Hollywood. That's really what it's about.
Yeah.
And hoping that we fulfill some dreams.
Yeah, thank you for doing that. I would say, inspiring some youngsters out there, and also including veterans in that endeavor, obviously means a lot to me,
Yes,
being a veteran, and
absolutely.
and channeling, somebody's energy, getting them look within themselves, and find that one thing, that could be there, but they just don't know it yet. Like, that's what it's all
Yeah,
about. It's all about inspiring people and making a difference. And I appreciate you
yeah,
doing that
especially
very
the young
much.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, especially the young people.
Now more than ever, with the evolution of media, and I don't mean like entertainment stuff, I just mean like the media that gets portrayed
Mhm.
out there, social media and things like that. You can easily demoralize you and make you very
Yeah.
corrosive if you're not careful. So like things like that you're doing, and I think you and I here providing a good example for people. That's
Mhm.
what people need to be watching, this kind of things, and they need to be going to events like you hold, to give them that inspiration that they need to go, because life is short. You just don't
Oh
want to be
yeah,
pissed off you don't want to be pissed off for five,
yeah,
10 years, and that's all you've really accomplished.
yeah, yeah. And you have to surround yourself with like minds.
Yeah,
Sitting at home being a couch potato may not be the right move. If
right.
you're looking for something to really get off the ground. So you got to go where others that have the same interests are. And so that's a part of what Impact does. We try to create those little nucleus of creatives to be able to come together collectively to support each other and find other resources amongst each other.
Yeah. Um, and what a question I have for you, Jalene, is there's a lot of viewers out there. They there's levels to everything, and for you, like, you have pushed not just your acting, your lawyer, and you've kind of culminated all these things into a really, really healthy and very distinguished career, right? Um,
Yes.
so like sometimes it's about those intangibles and things. What could you provide a viewer, like what kind of like tidbit of advice could you give them to maybe take their endeavors to the next level?
Well, I learned back at my graduation in 1990, when I graduated from Xavier University, our president, Mr. Norman Francis, he said, "There's no such thing as luck." And I know people have probably heard this something similar before, but no such thing as luck. It's really about opportunity, meeting preparedness, right?
Yeah.
And I think that holds true to this day, being prepared in every way you can for an opportunity that's going to advance you in some way. And a part of doing that is really investing in yourself, right? Some people may invest in themselves by taking an actual class, whether in person or online, reading trades about the business that they're in, creating a network of people that support your interests. At the end of the day, all of that is time that you're putting into yourself to make yourself better. And if you want somebody to support you, you really have to put the first dollar in, right? You have to show that you've invested in yourself, you believe in yourself. And I think that's really key as well. And yeah, that's what I would especially encourage young people to make it known that, hey, I don't want anybody to believe in something that I don't truly believe in, right? So I have to demonstrate that I am a firm believer in what it is that I am trying to accomplish. And how do I do that? I lead by example. And so I think that's super important for even the creatives in this industry that are in some cases producers. They're looking for someone to fund their movie projects. And, you go to somebody and say, hey, can I have, $200,000? And oftentimes investors are like, well, what have you put in your own project? Well, I just came up with the idea. You really have to in some way show that you're invested in your own project and willing to take a risk just like the next person.
Wise words from a wise woman. I'll caveat to that and say this, that, to take that first step, right? Because the first step is the most important step. If you don't even take that step, then you're never even going to get off the ground. And last but not least, it's be bold. Jalene, you wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be having a conversation with you if I would have been passive on the airplane, just said, I'm just going to watch, this nice woman struggle a little bit with the bag. But even then, I help with the bag, you sit down. And then I could have just let you sit over there and do your lawyer work. Instead, we just looked at each other, stuck our hands out, and then what do you know? It created a friendship. And now we're shooting a podcast together and, trying to give people, some information and share some experience with them. Right.
Yeah. And it was a very easy conversation. And, but I think that's why your podcast does so well, because you're very conversational, very relatable and very welcoming. So I think your personality speaks volume in terms of your kindness. So thank you.
Coming from you, my week is made now. My week is made. I could run into Tom Brady tomorrow and it wouldn't matter because you just said that. So thank you, Jay. I appreciate it.
That says a lot.
All right. Last but not least, I wanted to afford you the opportunity to give a shout out, to anybody, your family, anybody that you would like to give a shout out to.
Well, I certainly want to shout out to Houston, which is my hometown. H-Town in the house. H-Town, I got to put my little H's up. Because I do have a lot of family and friends right here in the city, and I'm hoping that they get a chance to listen to us and what we have to talk about today. So thanks for that support already in advance, H-Town, for tuning into this podcast. But yeah, special shout out to my husband, Jermaine. I didn't get to talk to him, talk about him as much as the kids earlier, but that's my rock. And he allows me to, I'm doing work, but I'm having fun, right? Sure. And it allows me to run around and be a creative. And as the acting stuff, sometimes it takes me away for a few weeks, but I really appreciate the love and support that he gives when it comes to that. And I can't wait to get back to acting. Again, that's the other thing. Shout out to all my actors on the front line. Dealing with the strike, writers dealing with the strike. So I want to send some love and support their way as well.
Yeah, can you just provide a little bit of context, because I know that a lot of viewers are probably seeing that it's SAG-AFTRA, strike with all the actors and things. Like, what is that about? Briefly.
Yeah. So the unions, there's several unions, right? The primary ones are the ones for the writers, the one for the directors, the ones for the actors, and then those that provide a lot of the crew people and provide a lot of below the line responsibility. But this is the first time since the 1960s that at least two unions have been on strike at the same time. So WGA went on strike at the end of June, and then the end of May, and then the actors went on strike at the end of June. That's a lot of lost performance, lost writing new shows. As you can see, you're watching a lot of reruns because we're in the middle of a strike. And but essentially, what does it amount to? It amounts to the fact that people are not paid enough and a little bit fed up, right? Because the big studios are making millions and millions and millions of dollars. Even if it's a TV show, they get millions and millions of dollars from advertisers. But then the streamers make millions and millions of dollars from everybody watching the programming, and the subscribers increase. And but actors are in particular not seeing residuals. There's a number of legitimate complaints that's at hand, and I'm hoping we get it worked out. I know the president, Fran Drescher, she announced that SAG can go like another 6 months. So, but I'm hoping it doesn't. I hope it doesn't go that far, because there's a lot of actors that literally do live check to check, and when the residual checks are low and they're not getting a weekly check, then it's hard for them to pay their bills. And I'm sure some of the writers are in the same boat. But yeah, but that leads to the point of, when you're in this entertainment industry, it's really necessary to be a hybrid, to have all these multiple streams of income the best you can. And so in my case, I'm not just an actor or writer, I'm also a lawyer. So I have some other means to generate some income. And so, but yeah, everybody's going to have self-assessment to see how to not get into a bind next time we go on strike this long.
Yeah, a backup plan to the backup plan to the backup plan. That's good that you have that in place. And I also think that there's a common misconception that everybody thinks that somebody's got a camera on them that's done in a professional manner, that they're rich. I know, actually go to a gym with a guy who's an actor, but he's been in small roles, and he has not got money falling out of his he's a normal dude, normal middle class guy who's trying to level up in that industry. So I understand, I get it. Yeah. It's a business, just like everything else.
It's a business. Yeah. And it's only like 1% or something, very small percentage of people who are like really rolling in the dough that are actors. We see them on TV all the time. We know what the big movie stars are, but a lot of people are not.
Yeah. No, I get it. I appreciate you providing that context there, after your shout outs. And Jalene, we got a little bit of time left. I'd like to offer you the opportunity to flip the script on me so I could answer a question that you may have about this crusty old veteran.
Well, usually when I talk to someone after a while, and I don't see this coming, but at some point it's revealed that you studied theater or took an acting class when you were a kid. Could you be that person? Did you have any type of acting experience as a kid? School plays? Tell me about that.
Oh, no, Jalene, not at all. This is all like Massachusetts personality, watching my dad, how he used to roll, as an adult and stuff. But no, this personality, I would say, is how I ended up, starting a podcast. And I've told people this before, that, the thing I missed the most about being in the Marine Corps for so many years was just having genuine conversations with people, because I just love talking to people. So it just seemed like a natural fit once I got all my affairs in order to say, hey, you know what? Just like we said earlier, be bold, be brave, take the first step. You're probably going to be better at it than you think that you are. People are probably going to like it more than you think that they will, and just go ahead and get after it. So that's what I did. I just started firing up a camera and having conversations with great people like you. And it's actually something I really enjoy doing. I'm very passionate about it.
Oh, yeah. I think you could do a course on running a podcast, honestly.
Thank you, ma'am.
Because, it's obviously me having experience in casting actors for movies and stuff. I definitely recognize talent. And you have talent, Mark.
Coming from an unbelievably accomplished professional like you, with your background, that means a lot. I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on finding great people, and that's why you're here, Jalene. You're not here because you are here because you're an accomplished professional. You are here because you've had an incredible acting career. You are here because of that, but you're really here because you're very humble and you're very kind. That's why you're here.
Thank you. Yeah, I tell people I'm like Tina Turner. All I have is my name. Remember?
That's right.
She got to that. She just wanted her name back, right? So I say I don't have these big fancy billboards and these, quote unquote yellow page ads. I literally have my reputation, and I'll be practicing 30 years next year.
Yeah.
30 years.
Right. And married for 27 years. And married for
Married.
27 years, and there's a
That's
huge
right.
applause for that too. That is amazing.
29 years together, 27 years married. Long time.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a success story, just all by itself. And I wish you, your family, your children, and your career, to continue to level up. And it's been just thank you for entrusting me to host you on my small, humble podcast. And it's been an honor, to have you and to sit across from me and have this conversation.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. And I would like everybody to know, and you maybe you'll be posting this, but they need to find me. I'm easy to find. They can just Google me, Jalene Mack. I'm under my regular name out there in social media world, so I don't have some psychotic, sexy name that you have to decipher. Who is that? No,
Yes.
Jalene Mack. I want people to find me. So yeah, and if they get a chance to check out my nonprofit, Mack Performing Arts Collective, that'd be great too. And hey, it's a nonprofit, so we're always looking for support of different kinds. So yeah.
Right. I highly recommend Jalene's website. That is the most informative. There's links to all her social media. That's how I got connected with her. That's how I got in contact with her and extended this invitation. It has a lot more background and depth, about her and, and her accolades and the things that she's done in the industry. So, Jalene, it was my absolute honor. I can't wait to follow up with you and talk to you again. Please keep in touch. And to all my viewers out there, I hope you enjoyed this episode with my friend Jalene Mack over here. Lovely, talented, and just humble. Carries herself with such humility for being somebody, for the status that she is. And I tell you, go out there and show her, a little bit of love. Keep her in your prayers. And thank you for supporting the podcast. You guys have just been wonderful. And with that, we're going to sign out for the night. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thank you. Bye.